Good morning, first graders. Today we are going to be working on comparing and contrasting. Can anybody tell me what comparing and contrasting means? Go ahead and yell it. I can't hear you. You're right. Comparing and contrasting means finding similarities and differences between two different books. So the way you do that is a Venn diagram. You have two books on each side and your similarities in the middle. Okay, so today we are going to be focusing on reading two books and finding the similarities and differences between them. So today we're going to be reading The Birthday Swap. We may have already read it, but that's okay. It's okay to read a book more than once. You're more of an expert on it this time. So you're just listening right now. Think about what's happening in the story. We're going to talk about the events that happened, and that's what we're going to be comparing today. So The Birthday Swap. My name is Lori. I'm the youngest one in my family. I grew up in a town near the border between the United States and Mexico. Half of my relatives live in Mexico, and half of them live here. This is a picture that my dad took at a party in Mexico the year I turned 6. My brothers Ed and Beto and my sister Cookie were teenagers then. That was the year I had the best birthday party ever, and this is the story of how it happened. It was a Saturday morning in summer, the day before my sister Cookie's birthday. Every year we celebrated Cookie's birthday with a big family reunion and a cookout at Tio Daniel's house in Mexico. This year I wanted to get Cookie my own present, instead of just adding my name to whatever my parents were giving her. But I couldn't come up with an idea for a gift. When I told my mom, she smiled and said, "She doesn't expect you to give her a present, mija." "But I want to," I said. "She's only so much older than me, and it's hard to find the right thing." "Well, think," Dad said. "What would you want?" I thought about it. My birthday wasn't until December. "A horse," I shouted. My parents gave each other a look. "Too big for the backyard," Dad pointed out. "What else?" "A kitten." Mom shook her head. "Cookie's allergic to cats, and so am I." "Try again," Dad said hopefully. "What would you want more than anything in the world?" It hit me. The perfect gift. A puppy. Dad smiled, but Mom looked stern. A puppy is a big responsibility. Cookie's starting her senior year this fall. She won't have time to care for a pet. "I could help," I offered. "Tell you what," Mom said. "Why don't you come with me on my errands? Maybe we'll find something, okay?" Mom and I drove over the bridge and across the border. Our first stop was Tia Sabrina's house. I loved visiting Tia Sabrina. She was a baker and her house smelled good, like cakes and melted candle wax. Tia Sabrina was finishing up a huge cake. She kissed me and patted my cheek with the soft, sugary hands. "How are you today?" she asked. "Not so good, Tia. I don't have a present for Cookie." "Oh, don't worry about that," Tia said. "Maybe you'll think of something while your mother and I discuss cake business." Mom and Tia went into the kitchen, and I wandered around and looked at cake decorations. But I still didn't come up with any great ideas. What would you want for your birthday? Yell it nice and loud. Our next stop is the Mercado. The market in Mexico was totally different from the supermarket at home. For one thing, the Mercado was always noisy and crowded, with shoppers and vendors and musicians. There was even a special section for live animals with chickens, ducks, parakeets, and even donkeys for sale. Mom headed straight to the fruit and vegetable stands. I saw a huge bin of shiny tomatoes. Cookie loves tomatoes, I thought. I picked one up. Somehow, a tomato just wasn't special enough. "What do you think?" I asked a kitten at my feet. "Meow." It was a meow in a tiny voice. I put the tomato back and walked with my mom to the curio shop, where the toys and the trinkets for tourists were sold. Great things, ceramic piggy banks, marionettes, maracas, glass animals, and big sombreros with fancy needlework and sequins. I could have wandered around in that shop for hours, But I realized after a few minutes that nothing was quite right for Cookie. On our way back to the car, we passed the piñatas. Just a second, Mom said, and then we began talking quietly with the piñata maker in Spanish. I walked around and made friends. My favorite was the donkey. Mom, how about this? I asked. I think Cookie's too old for a piñata, don't you? She said, taking my hand as we walked back to the car. Don't worry, it'll be okay. The next morning, I was the last one up. Our house was crazy. Everybody was running around getting ready for the big party. Mom had even made me a new dress to wear to church. She fixed my hair with blue satin ribbons. Boy, I'm sure going fancy to church today, I said. My mother just raised her eyebrows and smiled. Grown-ups. Our church was in Mexico, so the whole service was in Spanish. Usually I like to sit quietly and just look around at the paintings and stained glass. But that day, all I could do was fidget. When I saw my brothers leave early, I wanted to go with them, but Cookie whispered that I had to pick up something and they'd meet us later. After church, we drove to Tio Daniel's house. When we arrived, something incredible happened. Take a guess on what you think the incredible thing that happened was. Maybe. You never know. Surprise! Happy birthday, Lori. Feliz cumpleaños. Everyone was there. My grandparents, aunts, and uncles, all my friends, our neighbors, my cousins from both sides of the border, everyone. But I said, it's not my birthday. Well, it's like this, Cookie explained. Because my birthday is in the summer, I always get a big party. But since your birthday is in the winter, when it's too cold, you never get one. So this year I thought I'd swap with you. After all, I'm getting a little too old for this. So, Cookie smiled, happy birthday. I was so surprised. I hugged my sister and ran to join the party. What a day! We swam in Tio Daniel's pool, we played tag, and we ate. There was so much food I can't even remember it all. In the center of the table was a beautiful cake I'd seen at Tia Sabina's house the day before, with 7 candles on it, 6 plus 1 for good luck. When it was time for the piñata, I got another surprise. It was the donkey. Everyone got 3 tries to hit it. I felt a little bad about that, but Mom said it was okay since all the candy made his stomach ache. But the best surprise came last. It was a plain box with a bow on it. Dad said, this is from all of us. Guess what was inside? It was something I wish for more than anything else in the world. What do you think it is? Maybe. I guess we're going to have to see. Let's find out if you're right. A puppy! I picked her up. She wiggled and licked my face. Her name is Spicy, I said, and everyone clapped. I played with Spicy and had some more cake and ice cream. The sun started to set. A mariachi band arrived, and soon everyone was dancing. After a while, all the kids got tired and started to fall asleep on the grass. I tried to stay awake, but I guess I fell asleep too. Cookie said the party got really loud. I didn't wake up though. Mom said that was when it was over. Dad carried me to the car. The next thing I knew, I was home in bed. So that's what happened. My sister swapped my birthday for hers. And I think that's one of the nicest things anybody could ever do. The end. Good night. All right, so what we are going to do is I need you to go ahead and grab your notebook that has your name on it and open it up to the first available page that you find. Nice and blank, no writing. Go ahead and write your name right on the very top line. I'm going to write my name to show you. As you say. Okay, you're going to put your name right at the top, nice and small on the top line. You're using your lines, friends. We're not writing in the middle of the paper. Now you need to put the date. Today is 3-18-20. March 18th, 2020. your teachers are going to need to know what day you did this, okay? So we can know that you finished the assignment, okay? And at this top, I want you to write C/C day 1, right at the top, okay? C/C day 1 at the top. Now, I'll wait for you to finish that. Make sure it's all done. Are you all done? Cool. So now you're going to write the title of your book right underneath where your name and the assignment name is. Right here, you're going to write the name, the birthday swap. The birthday swap. Okay, you're going to write that there. Now you're going to write a list of events that happened in the story. Okay, so I want you to think about the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story. Okay, so what happened at the beginning? Okay, think about what Tia wanted. She was trying to do what? She knew it was her sister's birthday, so she wanted to do what? What did she want to do? I like that idea. Tia wanted to get her sister a birthday present. Good job. So that's the first thing that happened in the story. Okay, I'm making my list, bullet points, okay? So go in order. So the first thing she wanted to do was give her sister a birthday gift. I'll give you a second to write that. Okay, that's very important. That's our first step. That sets the whole story. Okay, that's her problem. What was the problem? You're right. She didn't know what to get her. She didn't know what to get her. Awesome. So we started right in our beginning of our story. Okay, you and I spent the time and came up with 2 bullet points. Now your job is to continue making a list of bullet points. Okay, the more bullet points you have, the better. Okay, what happened in the story? You can re-listen to the story being read to you. Figure out what happened so that you will be able to find the similarities and differences between this book and the book we read tomorrow. Okay, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions at all. Okay, make sure your writing is very neat so that we can read it and that you know what happened so that tomorrow when we compare them, we know what we're doing. Okay, please feel free to reach out to me or your teacher with any more questions. Keep up the great work, guys. You're doing a great job.